Well, guys, here she is in all her glory. Dirty as hell. Probably the dirtiest you ever seen her, but this is why I have not done this damn procedure or fix.
HalferLand videos.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to HLP Products, or HalferLand Performance. Today, man, I got something for you. She's been down for a while, and you guys know it. It's been at least 3 or 4 months now that the clutch throwout bearing has gone out in Bertha. So there's nothing wrong with the engine. It's just, once again, for the 3rd time, it's a transmission issue. We broke 3rd gear twice due to the power level that we're at, and then this will be the third throwout bearing for some reason. Not sure why, not sure if it's the pressure plate. We have the upgraded pressure plate from Spec, who we announced in our last video. We just got our vendor account with, so we are now a distributor of Spec clutches, and we are working on posting those or listing them on our online store. But as far as Bertha, it's the 3rd time the throwout bearing has gone out, and we do have the upgraded billet pressure plate, so not the self-adjusting fingers like OEM that are just super weak. That's why they only hold like 300 horsepower basically, where the 3+ clutch that we have holds 680 foot-pounds of torque. So that's a lot. But anyways, guys, before we get started, I want to show you a little something that we have just released on our online store, and that would be our HLP titanium throttle body dress-up kit. So these are our titanium bolt dress-up kits for, I'm not sure how well you can see this, for all throttle bodies. So if you run a stock intake manifold or stock, no spacer, with a spacer, whatever it may be, we offer it for the 66mm, J30, J32, J35, and we also offer it for the ZDX. And once again, which is the 78mm. But once again, guys, it doesn't matter if you have a spacer or not. Just choose the fitment from our drop-down menu option on our online store for your fitment. This is our neochrome. This is our neochrome kit right here. And then we also have our gold, and then we have our burnt blue over gold. So you can see a little remnants of gold in there, but it's basically a burnt blue over gold. And then there is our neochrome. So let me swap these out, and I'll show you guys which each of them look like real quick. All right, here's our gold. Ba-bum. And here is our burnt blue over gold. Not sure how well the camera's picking it up, but guys, these are just fire looking. These look incredible. So that's all of them. Like I said, guys, we got neochrome, which is neochrome rainbow. We have obviously gold. It's one of our colors. One of our company colors is gold, and then we have the blue over gold titanium throttle body hardware dress-up kits. So if you guys are interested, they are live on our online store. They are $85.95. Currently is the sale price for the release, and then that will go up, and we have a limited supply on them. So if you guys want them, please check out our online store, which is HondaJSeriesEngine.com. Once again, HondaJSeriesEngine.com, and then just click the shop tab and it'll bring you over to our store. And I did also forget to mention, guys, that we do have them available for our HLP, the largest drive-by-wire throttle body on the market, which is our HLP 79mm throttle body, which we also offer the option to port or bore that out to 81mm, so it'd be an 81 by 72mm throttle body. And we have shown that they are gaining, I believe, 8 to 12 or 8 to 14 wheel horsepower, guys, which is nuts. I mean, a guy picked up 8 wheel horsepower untuned, where the ZDX, if you just did a ZDX swap out, they're picking up like, I believe 5 to 7, maybe 8. So on the low end, our throttle body is still gaining more than the ZDX, and it bolts directly to a J30, J32, and J35 intake manifolds. So what more could you want? But getting back into the video, what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna show you why I've been procrastinating so bad on Bertha. It's because there's a lot of work. There's a lot of shit you gotta take off in order to get to the transmission, and you'll see why here shortly. And if you guys are curious on the weight, there's the OEM hardware coming in at 142 grams or 5 ounces. And then our HLP titanium throttle body dress up bolt kit, there they are. So 5 ounces versus 1. Hold on, they're all rolling away. 5 ounces versus, I don't know if you guys can see that shit. Can you see it? 1. And then versus 54. So what was the other one? 140, 150 grams. 54 grams versus 150, and then 4 ounces for OEM versus 1 ounce. So there's a huge weight savings. Yes, guys, I understand it's just ounces, but once we establish our full lineup of kits, it's going to be a drastic amount of savings. So this is mainly for dress-up purposes, guys, but every ounce counts, especially for race cars or racing or whatever it may be. Well, guys, here she is in all her glory. Dirty as hell. Probably the dirtiest you ever seen her, but this is why I have not done this damn procedure or fix, because I need to get, I can't even show you, I need to get down there. So the turbo needs to come off. The wastegate, which you can see right there, hopefully. All these radiator lines, intake, I think, yeah, I got to remove the intake so I can get more room, because, or I can just remove the throttle bodies, but honestly, I always leave these attached. I always leave the throttle body attached to the intake manifold just so I don't have to reuse a gasket. So I just pull the intake manifold because it has an MLS gasket, and then I do the copper spray over it. And guys, I've reused MLS gaskets forever. Always use the copper spray on it, and I've never had an issue. But as you can see here, man, you got some water staining. Like I said, she's been sitting for about 4 months now, guys. The longest she's ever been down, and all because of a stupid throwout bearing. So when I start the car, it like squeals like a pig. It's like, and I go to put the, I go to engage the clutch, so I push the clutch pedal in, and it does nothing. It doesn't want to go in gear or anything like that. So I'm assuming, once again, the throwout bearing, I'm believing the bearing separated as it did last time. And like I said, I'm not sure why, but my theory is the pressure plate and the clamping force, the amount of pressure on the throwout bearing is causing it to wear out quicker, especially being this setup has 35,000 miles on it, turbocharged, and I daily drive it. So daily driving, racing at 550 wheel horsepower, 560 wheel horsepower, so over 620, 630 horsepower at the engine, it's going to do some wear and tear. So guys, if you guys are interested in going like 500 to 1,000, you guys need to keep in mind, you're gonna have to take care of all this shit. There's gonna be all this maintenance. You got your turbos, you got your blow off valves, you're gonna have to change the oil more regularly, like 1,500 to every 2,000 instead of every 3,000. Use good oil. What we use, or what I use, is the Rotella. So the Shell Rotella T6, which is a 540, and it's a diesel, high temperature diesel full synthetic, and that's what I've always ran in this setup since it's been turbo. And with the oil cooler, I actually think it's too thick of a viscosity. I think I need to go down to a 30 weight, but the car, hey, 550 wheel horsepower for over 35,000 miles, and I've never had an engine issue. So knocking on wood, it is what it is. So I guess I'm gonna get started, guys. I might just, I don't know, I don't want to go through the whole thing and show you guys what I'm doing, but I guess you can watch along or whatever. All right, guys, got the intake pipe off. So anyone curious how I routed this on our setup, you can see there's the intake pipe that's coming out of the same side intercooler. So it feeds down. The way I did it, I fed off of the turbo straight down into the top, and then obviously it goes through the intercooler out here. Oh, I'm sorry, hold on, no, that's wrong. All right, so it feeds down from in the turbo on the charge side, on the cool side. So it pushes out the turbo down through there, through the bottom, back out the top, back around here, and then you can see the blow off valve here. Hopefully you can see it. That's the blow off valve, and then it feeds back up right here and then into here. So the way I routed it initially, guys, it was way more laggy. So this turbo starts to come on around 3,000 RPM. This is a 69-68 millimeter turbo, journal bearing, guys. Everyone told me it's not going to spool up, you need a ball bearing, you need all this shit. And I'm like, I did my compressor maps, I knew what compression we'd be running. I'm running 10.8 to 1 compression on this J35 A7 with our HalferLand hyper pistons, HalferLand J35 1300 horsepower H-beam rods, our HLP J32 J35 billet block guards, and the heads are slightly decked, so it's 10.8 to 1 compression. And I'm like, I know this thing is gonna light up. And initially when I ran it, really it started coming on boost around 4,000, and I'm like, no, this should be better. And then I realized the way I routed it was retarded. So it came off of the turbo. How did I go? I think I came off the turbo and it was routed, so this outlet was going back through there, then it routed all the way back through here, connected here, then routed all the way back around like this. So basically the two tubes were going back all the way through here. So what I did to cut it off, I just clocked the turbo down like this, and it goes straight down right into the intercooler. So literally, if you measure it off, I took off literally about 4 to 5 feet of charge pipe, which obviously once it fills up, once the turbo fills up the charge pipe, it starts building boost a lot quicker. So just by reducing or cutting out that 4 to 5 feet of charge pipe, the turbo starts to spool at 3,000 RPM. It's a 69 millimeter journal bearing Turbonetics turbo, and I'm in full boost by 4,000. So literally my full power band is 4,000 to 7,500, and really I shift around 73. So, oh yeah, it does have our HLP stage 2 cams. This is an older revision. So this was like our version, I think 5 or 6 that I have in here. The ones we have now on our website are more aggressive, they make more power, and they have a higher RPM band, or RPM range. So the power band is extended out, where our new HLP no limit stage 2 cams will pull all the way up to 7,700 RPM, and you can take it a little further, shift at 78, or you can even take it up to 8K, but you'll start seeing some power fall off around 7,700 RPM, where our old this is our old version. Really the power starts to drop off around 73, 74. But like I said, guys, our new no limit stage 2 cams, they make just as much power as these do, but they have a higher RPM limit. Hope that makes sense. But like I said, guys, by just thinking the setup out and revising just the charge pipes alone, I got the boost to come in 1,000 RPM faster. So keep that in mind. All right. And like I was saying, I already showed you the charge pipe. And as for the outlet of the turbo, it basically feeds back here, goes under the fuse box, which obviously I have a lot of heat tape, guys. I did a lot to manage heat as well. So I got the turbo blanket. This isn't for show, guys. This is heat tape on all the radiator hoses. More heat tape around all the wiring, because obviously you got the turbo running here. The turbo, the entire outlet pipe or downpipe is wrapped in turbo exhaust or exhaust wrap, heat wrap, and then we put more heat reflective tape on the fuse box just to be safe, because obviously a lot of heat is going to be coming out of there. And guys, never had any issues so far, and it's been doing great. So something you got to manage when it comes to turbo is heat. And of course you do that with the intercooler, and then you can also do it as I did here, addressing everything I possibly can. I didn't go gold to make it all flashy and shit. It serves the purpose because I wanted to reduce the most amount of heat as possible. And then also with our VIS Racing carbon fiber hood, I don't know if you guys knew this, this is a carbon fiber hood. I dipped it, looks like shit. The whole car needs to be repainted, man. These are like cheap eBay headlights. They need to be redone. Obviously they look like shit, so I'm gonna buy some new ones. I'm gonna redo the paint. Like I said, man, this is what a daily driver ends up looking like whenever you just beat the shit out of it. You drive it daily, and it makes 530 wheel horsepower, and then the transmission has issues. So it is what it is, guys, but I love the shit out of this car. If you want to see the inside, she is minty, guys, black on black. So she got the black leather, got the tablet screen. I don't know if you guys can see in here. Got the tablet screen, all that, got all of our gauges and everything. Got the Kirky seat, everything's down in the back. But yeah, guys, I mean, inside she's minty fresh, but outside is kind of hurting, that old Honda clear coat. Well, got the intake manifold off, guys, and it looks like the breather was doing its job, but I should probably route this breather into the catch can over here, because obviously, as you can see, I got a shitload of oil here. But outside of some water staining from sitting, guys, she's looking great thus far. Got a little bit of dirt in the runners and grime, but nothing like what I've seen on other customers' cars when we've done maintenance to them. And you have to consider I'm running an open element, no filter whatsoever, guys. So literally whatever's getting sucked in here is going through the engine, which probably is not a good idea, but I'm surprised of how clean those runners are, guys. Maybe it's from the port and polish that we have on it, and it's smoother or what, but like I said, guys, I've seen, you know, OEM vehicles where guys haven't even modified the car. They have full filters on their intakes, and it's way dirtier than what we have. So outside of a little bit of oil leaking from the breather, things are looking good thus far. Moving forward, I need to remove this water passage. Probably drain the coolant would be a good idea, or just let it spill out, which is what I usually do, considering I'm just sitting here on dirt. I wish she was running, because I would move her into the shop and then do all this work. But this may be a great time to actually tear down this engine, because you have to consider 35,000 miles on this setup alone, at 550 wheel horsepower, many races, a shitload of daily driving, you know, dynos, street poles from e-tuning, all that shit, guys. Who knows what the condition of the motor looks like, but I mean, she was running great whenever we parked her, so I assume it's looking good. But hey, I guess we'll just keep running with it and see what happens once she's back up and running. There we go. Now you guys can actually see the transmission. Got the turbo out, obviously that's the downpipe for the turbo. Got the wastegate and the wastegate pipe out. Got the turbo oil drain tube or return line is out. So for the most part, guys, you can see the transmission now where you couldn't before. But I like to tuck all the wires up out of the way just to make sure I can get to all this shit. So I think I'm done for the day, guys. I still need to disconnect the transmission, so the transmission mount right here, then the lower transmission mount, which we do sell upgraded transmission mounts on our website for the 03 to 07 Accord. I don't know if you can see it here. It's the beefed up this one right here. See how much bigger that is? Now if you take a look at your 03 to 07 Accord Coupe V6 manual, it is not like that, guys. It's like one tiny little rubber thing here. So this is massive, and it really stabilizes the whole engine and transmission. Basically took away all of my wheel hop for hard launches, and it just helps stabilize everything. The shifts were actually smoother from less play, less rocking in the transmission. I don't know if it was due to the linkages, like stretching as the whole motor and transmission rocked, but yeah, dude, the shifts are way crisper, way more direct. But here we are, guys. Like I said, she's dirty, she's a daily, and she's been sitting, but for the most part I can get to the transmission now. Gotta pull the hubs, calipers, axles, pull those out just so I can get this stupid transmission out, and then hopefully I can finesse around and have about that much room I could slip my hand in and change out the clutch throwout bearing. And I pray to God that's the issue, because it's the same issue as it was before. The throwout bearing starts squealing. I can't shift into any gears, and yeah, that's what it was before. I'm also going to change the slave out, guys. I don't know if you can see it here. It's starting to rain, but the slave is down here, and that's basically what controls the hydraulic. Hydraulically, it controls the pedal. So when you push the clutch pedal, it pushes hydraulic fluid through the slave, and the slave pushes the throwout bearing like this, and the throwout bearing pushes against the pressure plate, which ends up releasing the fingers, which clamp down on the disc. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it off here, guys. Alright guys, I think I'm going to end the video here. I did want to show you the setup and everything. Getting back on Bertha, so hopefully we can start making a lot more content. As I said and mentioned in the past videos, 2023 is here, rolling through, and I want to get back to the track, not only with Bertha, but also with our race car, which has a ton of work to do. But, you know, we're still a small company. I'm limited with manpower. We have 3 employees at the moment. Hopefully we're going to grow more, but my time is limited, so unfortunately some things go to the back burner. Bertha ended up being one of them because of all the new products we've been releasing. But I'm going to put a hold on all the new releases. We have a few more products in the works. Not going to tell you exactly what all of them are. We already showed you our titanium throttle body dress-up bolt kit. We have our spec clutches, which we're going to list on our store. Pro Charger, we've been partnered with Pro Charger for a little bit. So basically I want to wrap up what we already have developed, and I want to finish those, and then everything, all of our R&D funding, I want to put into the supercharger setup. So that's what it is, guys. I hope you liked the video. Please like, thumbs up, subscribe, do all that good shit. It helps the channel out, and it'll help us grow and bring more content. Once I get this girl running, I will do another video for you guys. I'm gonna have to switch it over to 93 octane because we don't have E85 up here in our new location. Yeah, so I got to do the whole new tune. I need to get gas. I already drained everything out of the fuel tank. Basically, hopefully it's the throwout bearing as I suspect, and we'll be back up and running within the week. HondaJSeriesEngine.com. Check out our online store. Peace.